I came from New York City to live the MaineLife. I was hired to design outdoor footwear.
I live the MaineLife. We're looking for college grads, so come get your check.
I came from Venezuela to live the MaineLife. I opened my own restaurant.
Learn more about hundreds of Maine jobs and our tax program for college grads at liveandworkinmaine.com.
Hey everyone, greetings from the Portland Expo. Here's a look at what's coming up on this week's episode.
One could say that Maine represents the geographic epicenter of our world market.
One of my favorite nights of the year when it comes to special events, bringing kids and the new members of the Red Claws team together.
All right, let's check it out. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Erin Ovalle, and this is MaineLife.
An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound, and I pressed and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh, lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh, lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Hi everybody and welcome to the Portland Expo. We are here at the 9th annual Kids in Claws event celebrating everything basketball and the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Maine. Before we tell you a little bit more about what the event is all about, in this week's Maine business takes us to Scarborough. Floyd Imogene Technologies was named one of the best places to work in Maine. Take a look.
MEMIC supports Maine businesses because we are one. When they thrive, we thrive. We ensure 18,000 employers in Maine who really work in so many ways all over our state to make things better in their communities and better for their businesses and better for their employees.
Floyd Imogene was founded about 20 years ago, and it was based on the principle of taking images of microscopic particles in a fluid stream, much like a microscope, but dynamically.
It's just amazing to see all of the microscopic particles that are part of our everyday lives that we don't even think about.
We do a lot of pharmaceutical research, so drug development. There's a lot of aquatic research, so it's a lot of early stage R&D, which is something that I enjoy. We're making a product that's very beneficial to people and allows them to do the work that they need to do.
The employee base here are very engaged in new product development, hardware, software, so it's a very dynamic workforce, and no 2 days are alike. Currently, we are in over 50 countries, in all continents, operating out of Maine. One could say that Maine represents the geographic epicenter of our world market.
I had lived in Maine for about 8 years, and my husband and I moved to Florida when he took a job opportunity there, and we were there about 2 years, and we missed Maine terribly. There's so many neat places here to explore. We missed the seasons. I really wanted to work for a Maine company. So here we are, we're growing, we're making this really unique instrument. So that was definitely part of my decision, was being able to work for Floyd Imogene.
I went to school in Boston. I really enjoyed living there, but I came back to Maine, and having gone away, I was away for 6 years, and coming back, I grew to appreciate all of the things that Maine has to offer. There are very few states that I've been to where you can go to mountains and then oceans. The geography here is really great, and I enjoy being outside, so there's a lot of hiking opportunities. You can ski in the winter. I love the ocean, so it's a great state to kind of meet all of those needs. Get to live here, but also get to have a job that I enjoy and in a field that I enjoy.
We are are now here with Ralph Hendricks, the CEO of MacPage and also the lead sponsor here at Kids and Claws event and the sponsor of our new series, 3 Points, celebrating the Maine Red Claws and the Boys and Girls Club. Ralph, thank you so much for all that you do. This is your event. You worked hard to plan it. Tell us what we can expect.
Thank you, Erin. We're here tonight to raise some money for the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Maine. It's an interactive event with the Red Claws. Participate with the Boys and Girls Club in the community. The kids get to go on the floor, have a very interactive time with the players, get to talk with them and share what they like about the club.
And so you are not only a big basketball fan, you go back to Portland High School days?
I go way back to the Boys and Girls Club back in the late 60s, early 70s.
You're also a board member.
Yes.
Which is exciting,
we
and
have
you give a lot.
A great board. We've got over 30 people that are very dedicated to the Boys and Girls Club. And also the people that work at the Boys and Girls Club are some of the finest people that I know. And they're so dedicated every day to helping these kids learn and get along with each other and be good citizens.
Well, thank you for all that you do. Now let's learn a little bit more about tonight's event.
Thank you.
We are now here with Kira Brown, who is a 6th grader at King Middle School and a member of the Boys and Girls Club. You said for 4 years now?
Yes.
Tonight we're celebrating basketball, right? For the
yes.
Maine Red Claws. Are you a basketball player at all?
Yes, I play basketball at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm on my mom's team. My mom works there.
Love my job and love all the great people I get to work with on a daily basis. We have a lot of people that really care about the community and really care about the kids and the people within the community. The Red Claws is a great organization who also gives a lot back to the community, and I couldn't think of a better organization to give back to than the Boys and Girls Club.
From day one, it's always been, I would say, our philosophy to say we're here to make an impact in the community and more importantly have an impact with kids. And so aligning ourselves with the Boys and Girls Club and several other youth-oriented organizations was very important. For us, through the Red Claws brand, we've not only been able to have an impact within the greater Portland area, but also throughout the state of Maine.
One of my favorite nights of the year when it comes to special events, bringing kids and the new members of the Red Claws team together in a real casual atmosphere, shooting hoops, getting autographs, and meeting some future NBA players, hopefully Celtics. In the last 10, 15 years, we've become a lot more intentional about preparing kids for the next stage of their life. So part of ingrained in our mission of service is to get every one of our members through school, graduate on time with a plan for the future. This is a great time to bring money, and the money really goes to great use. It's just a wonderful experience and a great way to give back to the kids.
It's your picnic table and your park bench. It's your hotel room, your office, and your nursery. It's your first date and a shoulder to cry on. It's your barbershop, your dance floor, and your toolbox. It's your car. Find it at Quirk.
Welcome back, everybody. Our travels this week also brought us to Scarborough, where we got to check back in with our friends Scott and Sunny Townsend, who are not only showing us one of their featured properties, but bringing us to one of their favorite places aside from Higgins Beach in Scarborough, the Scarborough Marsh and Eastern Trail. Welcome back to Scarborough, everybody. We are here with Fenway, Spurwink, Scott and Sunny Townsend. And last time we saw you, we were enjoying beach life on Higgins Beach. And now we're here at the Scarborough Marsh and Eastern Trail.
Yeah.
Another favorite part of living in Scarborough for you.
It's so great. The Scarborough Marsh, it's 3,200 acres of salt marsh. It's the largest in the state. And it's really great, natural wildlife refuge, recreation area. It's fed by 4 rivers, so you can
know your community.
Yeah, you can kayak, you can paddleboard. The Maine Audubon Center is right up the road, and they rent canoes. They even do full moon canoe tours.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
We picked a good day to be out here too.
Yeah, it's a great day. In this section of the Eastern Trail, it's 2 miles from Pine Point Road to Black Point Road. It's probably the most popular section because of the great marsh views that it has. And what people don't know is this is just a small section in Scarborough, but the Eastern Trail within the state of Maine, I mean, it actually goes all the way down to Florida, but in the state of Maine, it's about 65 miles from Kittery to Casco Bay, and it's flat trail, and it's mainly gravel or pavement.
So I drive by all the time. I've actually never been able to walk it, and I know there's a lot of community initiatives to continue to fundraise so that it can restore it or build it, grow it.
Yeah, there's a capital campaign going right now because there's a 1.6 mile stretch of trail that needs to be built in Scarborough to connect it, and it goes over 1 river and I think 7 train wrecks, so it's quite cost prohibitive. It's about $4 million to do, and we're about 500,000 short of that goal.
Okay, so we're getting close, but we need more people to be watching this and experiencing it. The doggies seem to like it.
Oh, they love it.
Oh, they love it, absolutely.
They were just saying to me, wait, I was here this morning.
Yeah, we were here for a jog this morning.
So our next stop is one of your listings here in Scarborough, not too far from the Eastern Trail.
Dunstan Crossing. It's one of Scarborough's newer neighborhoods.
Okay.
Really great community feel. Pretty tree-lined streets, community events, really cool space that we have in a townhouse-style house for sale.
Great.
Just 2 miles from the trail and 3 miles to the beach.
High Point, right.
Exactly.
You guys are living the life.
It is.
All right, let's check it out.
Thanks.
So here we are at the Dunstan Crossing neighborhood. What's really unique about this neighborhood is it was inspired by historic Maine villages to be a traditional neighborhood. So it's really inviting. It has a really nice, friendly community feel, you know, from the park-like setting and the tree-lined streets. Sidewalks.
Underground utilities.
Right, it looks very clean.
Yeah.
All the houses have front porches.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really nice to socialize with your neighbors. They have regular happy hours by the pond, holiday events, and the final plans for the development is to have a commercial center with offices, shops, and restaurants.
Really? Not too far from this property?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in this development.
Yeah.
Going out along Route 1.
It'll exit out on Route 1.
And so you've helped some of your buyers to be in this community, and they're loving it?
And they love it,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then what we're finding is a lot of people that move into the condos in the community end up building houses and stay in the community.
And so you're showing us one of your listings here, which
Yes.
is 9 Waldron.
Yep.
And this is a townhouse, but you could also, I mean, there's a townhouse here, row, and then some independent houses as well?
Yeah, and right next door is a single-family home, so it's a nice mix of condos and homes.
Okay, let's go check it out.
Let's take a look inside.
Nice.
So this townhouse style unit was built in 2011. It's got a nice contemporary open layout.
Nice for the end unit too?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Right,
lots
is
of
that-
windows and more privacy. And look at this kitchen.
Do you cook?
I don't, but he's a
I'm
great
a
cook.
cook, yeah. This is it's a great cook's kitchen. Viking appliances throughout, and I can just imagine cooking on that stove and entertaining around this island.
And this is move-in ready.
This is
Oh,
move-in ready.
absolutely.
Just in time for holiday parties.
And we've got 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. We've got a great sunroom area, and what's nice about this townhome style, which is unique in Scarborough, there aren't too many of them, is it offers 3 floors of living space, and we're just under 2,900 square feet.
And the parking is in the back, which is really nice. So you're not kind of fighting with the curb appeal.
Yeah, as Sunny mentioned earlier, with the neighborhood, the feel of it is to have all the cars enter from the back of the homes versus, you know, long driveways and cars stacked up in the driveway in the front. And it opens up a more walkable neighborhood and also a more social neighborhood.
So who is your buyer for a townhouse? Is this, I mean, because a lot of people might want land, but somebody who's looking for this is looking for convenience?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, the age demographic for this particular townhome runs the full gamut because you have a very diverse neighborhood here. You have multiple floors and the condo style is nice because you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to shovel your front steps or your driveway. You can just focus on living and enjoying life.
Very nice. Hey everyone, greetings from the Portland Expo. In this week's Maine Today Minute, aside from stuffing yourself with turkey, here are some ideas to get you out and about on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving seems like a good time to start your day off with some exercise, so you can have some fun while doing it by joining in on the annual Thanksgiving Day 4-miler. You'll burn off some calories by running right through downtown Portland. The race starts at 9 a.m., so you have plenty of time to shower up before your big meal. If you'd rather watch people play sports than participate yourself, you can always catch the more than 100-year-old tradition of Portland and Deering High School football teams battling it out on Thanksgiving Day at Fitzpatrick Stadium. But if your idea of a sport is Christmas shopping, you can get an early start by hitting up LL Bean in Freeport, where the stores never close. If you're still looking for more to do, remember that local yoga studios, bowling alleys, and movie theaters open for at least part of Thanksgiving Day. Make sure you check hours before heading out to entertain yourself while you digest. For more ideas on things to do, including the best places to hike or grabbing a bite, log on to MaineToday.com. We are now continuing our Maine Leaders series, interviewing registered gubernatorial candidates who reach out to our crew to talk about their Maine life. This week, meet Maine State Treasurer Terry Hayes, who is running as an independent. So you grew up in the Portland area, and
Yes.
Buckfield has been your home for almost 30 years.
Yes.
Tell me about Buckfield. This is my first time. It's such a pretty drive.
We chose to live here. We bought the house. It was for sale by owner. And we liked the school system.
And then you served on the school board for
13 years. I did.
And is that kind of what brought you into the political world, or?
Rosita Gagne, who was my state representative, was watching a softball game, and she said, "I'm termed out. Why don't you think about running?" And I said, "Huh." So I went home and did some research and talked to Steve and said, "Yeah, that sounds like that will be interesting." And so I did. I was elected in 2006 in November. I started serving in December that year. I served 8 years in the legislature, and then I've been treasurer for 3. I think Maine has the potential. I think we can be what we want. We get to choose our future. And it's important to me that we not be held back by partisanship. I want to be able to tap talent across the state, regardless of Democrats, Republicans, Green, Independents. I want to give them all the credit for doing the right things, but I don't want the partisanship to get in the way.
How is Maine looking right now? Some of the positives, some of the challenges?
Oh, wow. We're doing a much better job collectively of planning for the economy that we have instead of the one that we wish we had. We're paying our bills with our own money. We're doing it on time, which is a good place to be. You know, if I'm fortunate enough to be Maine's next governor, job number 1 is to keep that and maintain that status. I think that's really important. Hi, Ernie.
Hi, Ernie.
He's a former postmaster.
There you go, small town.
Right.
You know your neighbors. So behind every strong woman, there's a strong man, they say, right? So we get to meet your husband now. It's a good husband. Good.
Yes, he's been a wonderful support.
Introducing 2 more family members. We have husband Steve over here, and Cooper. Cooper is your 4th child, I assume?
Yes. Currently, yes.
So you've got 3 human children.
We do, yes.
And you told me that they all still live in Maine, which is really cool and important, I'm sure, for...
Yeah, we really like that.
So Steve, 32 plus years, your wife, your best friend, why do you think she would be a good governor?
We need someone who can be in the Blaine House, who can work with both parties, who can be civil, who can get people to work together, and that's her. I mean, she's excellent at those things.
You have a lot of supporters, so it's nice to have somebody in your corner.
It's very nice. I'm blessed, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to run for governor. You know, I look at it as there's an opening, a job opening coming up, And right now I think there are 20 applicants, and Maine is blessed to have good people all vying for that same opportunity. So hopefully I know what outcome I want, but then I can tap that talent. We can tap across the state to move us forward.
So would Cooper come with you to the Blaine House?
He's gonna have to. Yes, absolutely.
We would love to have Cooper at the Blaine House.
Yes.
Cooper, are you ready for a move? Are you ready?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, isn't it, buddy? You and the cat.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you
welcoming
for
into your
coming
home.
here.
Thank you.
Hi there, everybody. This week at Miro Studios, I sat down with Executive Director of the Portland Symphony Orchestra, Erin Ovalle. We discussed the future of the orchestra, music director search, and of course, the magic of Christmas. Erin, welcome to MaineLife.
Thank you.
Awesome to have you. So you are the Executive Director of
Yes.
the Portland Symphony Orchestra here in Portland, Maine.
Yes.
Give us a little background. This is the Symphony's 93rd season.
Yep.
What should attendees or the MaineLife audience know about this upcoming concert season?
Yes, so there are two really important things that are happening this season. It is our music director, Robert Moody, his 10th and final season. So we are celebrating him throughout the whole season, and there's going to be a huge concert at the end of the season. May 1 is the final on Tuesday, and that's Mahler's Second Symphony, and it's going to be his big kind of blowout concert. And then the day before, actually at Aura, we're having a party for him, so look out for details there.
Going towards the music director search, you have 3 candidates.
Yes.
Two of which at this point have already conducted, I believe.
Yes, so we've had one conduct so far, and then November we have our second, and then we have our third coming in the spring, and they all come back twice. So each is doing a pops concert, and each is doing a classical program.
Awesome.
So we can have different concert audiences be able to see them.
There's also one of the big staples for Portland Symphony Orchestra that the generic public knows is the magic of Christmas.
Yes.
So we are looking at, I believe it's 6 shows or
12 shows.
12 shows. I'm sorry,
over 6 days. So 8th, 9th, and 10th, 15th, 16th, 17th of December. 2 shows a day.
What should we expect from this year?
So 2 of my most favorite people are coming to perform with the symphony and with Robert. Suzanne Nance is coming back. And you saw her on Maine Public. She led the classical program. She's now out in Oregon, and she is an amazing soprano, and she's going to come and sing with us.
Excellent.
And then also Susie Pepper.
Oh, really?
So a singer in the area who you may have seen on actually Magic of Christmas, our Pops concerts, Discovery concerts. She just has the most amazing voice, and they are both so different in their styles of singing, so it's just going to add a huge contrast. And of course, Magic of Christmas chorus and Ray Cornill's on the organ. So this is
his final year
with the Magic of Christmas as well.
As the municipal organist, and then. Wow, so it's a heavy hitter year.
It is, and for Robert, of course, always sleigh ride. This will be his final sleigh ride, and it's always, you see all of the musicians putting on crazy hats and all of that. And I think as the run goes on, things will likely get a little crazier and crazier because it's going to be his.
But in a great way.
Of
course.
Yeah.
That's for families of all ages.
Yes.
And those tickets go crazy fast.
They do, and it's, oftentimes we'll have a number of sold out performances of Magic, so get your tickets now because especially it being Robert's final Magic, I want to go to every single performance, so.
That's great.
Yep.
So we're excited to have you here. We're excited for Magic of Christmas coming up in December 8th, 9th, 10th, and 15th, 16th, 17th. Erin Ovalle, the Executive Director of Portland Symphony. We're so happy you're here, and thanks for being on MaineLife.
Thanks, Kevin. Lucky to have you in this community.
Oh.